Our next guest has been part of this show for 14 years. The other guest is making his debut. I love the name of the show. It comes to us from England, Wheeler Dealers, baby. And if you love cars and fixing them up, these guys are real deal. And joining us, Mike, first of all, congratulations on season 14. What's that like?
Yeah, it's incredible. I've been buying and selling cars on television now. We worked that, me and my wife, for 20 years. So I've had quite an illustrious career, but 14 of those years has been with this show, Wheeler Dealers. It's the longest running car build format in the world. And I'm very proud that after 14 seasons, I'm still getting a chance to make this show.
Well, no doubt things are going to have a little twist of information and some drama with the addition of Ant. And Ant, tell us about your excitement about being part of the show.
Well, I'm the kind of new boy, so I watched the show as a fan over the last few years, and I grew up like loads of people all over the world being a fan and watching Mike, and it's kind of strange stepping into such a established institution. It's the oldest car format in the world, and it's been running for so long that it feels really weird, but it's also a real privilege. I get to build cars, work on cars, do it with a mate. Actually, what's the catch?
There is no catch.
There must be a catch.
You just have to turn up for work and build cars. That's it.
Yeah, it's great.
It's great.
It's really
lovely.
great.
And Mike, I mean, you've been on this journey for a while, so how refreshing is it to have Ant, and what type of perspective does he bring?
Yes, Mike. Yes, Mike.
Okay.
What is it, Mike?
Well, look, over the 14 years, we've restored over 150 cars, and you've been educated over those 14 years on a particular way to do things. And of course, you know, at some points during car restoration, you're going to be repeating the same jobs over and over again, whether it's a disc brake conversion or whether it's putting a new interior in a car. You know, over the 150 cars, you've probably seen that 15 or 20 times. But now we've got Ant, and Ant brings his own style and his own way of educating us, which is a different way than before. And for me, as a fan of my own show and a person who loves restoring cars, it's great to stand on the sidelines and watch Ant work, and I think that the audience are really going to grasp that. They're going to see that there's going to be a new skill set that they can embrace and tap into, and they're going to get themselves. They're not going to feel worried about trying to tackle these problems themselves at home, because Ant is just a regular guy with a good set of tools and a lot of confidence. And when you're in the car restoration business, that's all you need. You don't need to send it out to an expensive shop. We're going to educate you how you can do this yourself at home.
Well, Ant, I know that he just described you as a regular guy, but I'm sure you've got a little bit of a twist.
No, I'm a regular guy, and that's the great thing about doing what I do, is that I grew up working on cars in my garages. I used to buy wrecks as a child, fix them, flip them and sell them, and I made tons and tons of mistakes over 20 years of building cars, and I've learned an incredible amount of things about how cars work, and I hope that some of that information is imparted to the viewer, because the guys out there, they will also make mistakes, but they'll also learn loads. And you know, this is something that I love doing. I'm passionate about building cars, and I get to do it now as a job, which is great. But we just do real stuff. We don't do anything that the public can't do. We're not saying, oh, this is really, really unique, really, really special. We're saying that actually, you know what? You too can buy a car, you too can fix this carburetor, and you too can sell it for a profit. And that's what's brilliant about this show, is it's real.
And Mike, you've been on this journey a while, so what's it like having a partner like Velocity here in the US?
You know, it's incredible. You know, I've known Velocity for many, many years, and I've been there since the beginning when Velocity was created. And it's an absolute privilege to be working on a network that dominates the car space. They are right away from the very top of the organisation all the way down to the bottom. Every single person there, boy or girl, is a car guy. And it's a thrill to be working with a network that's like that, because, you know, when you want something or you ask a question, the answer is generally easy. And that's the great thing about working with a car-centric channel. And for us, it's a pleasure. You know, we get to make this show that Velocity are very proud of. I know they are. And they put a lot of faith in me to come back and make this show again with a new host. And now this show will go on and live internationally all over the world with that Velocity badge that's attached to it. And that makes me very proud.
Well, that certainly is awesome. And you guys work with old motors. I love the vintage cars and the looks you guys come up with. But compare the old motors with today's.
Design.
Right,
It's gotta be
okay,
design,
yeah.
hasn't
I mean, look,
Simplicity?
we had this conversation the other day walking around a car show. Today cars are just generated out of a computer. It's a box that sits on somebody's desk. They press a button and out it regurgitates what should be the most efficient car to make it in the most efficient way. And when we was walking around a car show the other day, looking at Packards and Buicks and Stutz and cars like this, we were thinking, back in the day, how did we lose that? How do we lose that sense of design, that sense of purpose, that sense of style? How do we lose that? How do we make successive generations of cars just numb and take away what is a sense, an extension of a person's personality? And that's why we love what we do. That's why we love restoring old cars. They're never going to make them again. Look, don't get me wrong. I can't ever see a time in anyone's future where we are, as car guys, going to be standing in a parking lot in 10 years' time around a load of Chrysler Neon saying, what a great car. That's amazing, that Chrysler Neon. That's just never going to happen.
It's not going to happen,
It's never going to happen. So that's why I think the cars of the generation up until the 90s, 80s and 90s, and, the 50s and 60s, of course, that's where that ended, and that's why these cars need saving. That's why we're passionate about saving them, and that's what we want the viewer to understand.
Well, we hear you loud and clear. We can't wait to tune into season 14. What an accomplishment for this series, Mike and Ant. Pleasure talking to you, and as well as connecting. Enjoy the series.
Thank you very much,
Thanks,
Conn.
Conn.